Hello, everyone.
Welcome to a very cold Tuesday. It is, as we film this, so many degrees below zero. It's ridiculous. But hopefully this ignites a little fire in all of us.
Yes, we're gonna get fired up today, though.
Stir everybody up just a little bit, and we're gonna warm all them pots.
Yes, if you hear any crackling or crinkling around us, no, it is not either of the dogs. Our house is literally contracting
She's shrinking.
because the wind chill today, during the day, is like -25. So today I kind of feel like we should be having some kind of like black veils over our head and be in all black, which I guess I dressed the part, but not as much you.
I did not.
Because we have some negativity to share today. As we've been hinting at for the past kind of couple weeks, we have been really wanting to do another NOLO list. Now, if you're new here, what NOLO means is the opposite of BOLO. And what BOLO is be on the lookout. So NOLO for us is not on the lookout. And these are brands that we are not looking for. They do not have much value. They do not sell well. And some of them maybe never have, but a lot of them, and especially on this list, most of them used to be really good. Some of these brands in the past, I'd say like year over 2024, had a steep decline. Some of these even used to be on our favorite brands of all time list, which is another video we'd like to do an update on soon. But some of these were on past iterations of that. So they have really fallen from grace.
Oh, yeah.
So this list will have some in the beginning that are maybe a little more agreeable, kind of you expect it.
Yeah.
But near the end, we're getting into more of our hot takes where these are brands that there maybe are still people that would swear by them. But
we are not those
especially us, we do not have the luck with them. So as usual with NOLOs, keep in mind, this is from personal experience.
Yes.
This does not have to be reflected by you in any way. You do not need to agree with us. You do not need to listen to us and stop picking these up. These are just our opinions, and we're just putting them out there in case there are some of you that are like, am I crazy? This brand doesn't seem like it does well, though other people seem to like it. So we actually have 21 brands today, and we're not going to really flick through photos of what these brands sell, though we will show the label here, of course, just so you know kind of what to not look out for.
That's it. Or if you see it, you can just stay away.
Yeah. One more reminder before we get into it is this is not us saying that we would never pick up a single thing ever, point blank, period.
No.
A lot of these brands we would still pick up to consign at consignment stores, especially if they are a bins find.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these we would still pick up to consign from the bins. And then basically every brand has outliers.
Oh, yeah.
There are certain specific pieces that could have value, but this is kind of like casting a big net.
This is a wide
umbrella,
generalization.
yes, umbrella NOLO term, basically. So like I said, we have 21. We didn't really have a certain amount we were shooting for. We just kind of listed some off and it ended up being 21.
Rattled them off.
Yeah, so we're just going to kind of go back and forth telling you what the brands are, and we'll just give our little take on maybe why we don't think they do well or how far from grace they've fallen. And again, we're kind of going from least probably shocking to maybe the most hot take.
Number one. I feel like this isn't a surprise to anybody if you've been hanging around for a little bit. Kitten Ace. He's like the defunct Lululemon creative designer that kind of went off and did his own thing, and it does horribly. I have never in my reselling career sold a piece of Kitten Ace for over like $30.
So Kitten Ace,
it's really expensive.
So Kitten Ace, I think when it first hit the scene, had a really quick, sudden surge of popularity.
Flash in the pan.
Because like Ryan said, I believe their creator and CEO came from being a creative director for Lulu. So of course he had that behind his name like right away. Yeah. And the stuff they were making used really expensive material. When you find it, it usually is made of like really nice merino wools or nice silks.
It's well-made stuff, at least.
But it just, I don't think it stuck that fan base. I think people wanted it at first and then totally forgot it existed, because anytime that I've had it, I can't even give it away. Honestly, and consignment stores don't even know what it is. So it's also a really hard brand to consign. So yes, the retail's really high. Yes, the material's really nice. Yeah. But it just doesn't sell well. If anything, pick it up for yourself. Give it to a friend or family member. Because like, it's decently nice stuff.
Give it to your mom.
It's just not, it's not resale.
Give it to, everybody has that one woman in their life that wears a lot of wool sweaters. Give it to her.
Next up is another one that I think won't be a surprise to anyone because I think we've talked about it before, and that is Sweaty Betty or Sweetress Beatrice by any other name, just as sweet. So Sweaty Betty...
Miss the poor girl.
Sweaty Betty is another very athletic-centric brand, and it had a big moment, now I'd say probably like 5+ years ago. Definitely pre-Janine 19, if you know what we're talking about. It was hot for 6 months to a year, and it has a really high retail. Now, unlike Kitten Ace, it's not like Sweaty Betty is made of some kind of amazing, fantastic fabrics. It's kind of just made
polyester.
of all the normal athletic material.
Yep.
And I think that's just it. I think there's like an oversaturation of trendy, popular athletic brands. There's always a new one, and then one gets left behind. And Sweaty Betty is just like 10 behind.
She's just, you know, in the cycle of trendy, little influencer-y athletic wear brands.
She's in the back of the cycle.
That's it. She's hanging out. She's hanging out with the old folks.
But
the LO.
Yeah.
She's back there with them.
I've had really cute Sweaty Betty pieces that I thought like, okay, but this piece has to do amazing. Still didn't do well. It was like a pair of leggings with like skiing scenes on it and like chairlifts and stuff and trees. It was so cute. They did terrible.
Womp.
Yeah.
Our next one is, I kind of enjoy this brand, and I remember they had the Doing Things, if that gives it away, the Doing Things hat that one of the Jonas Brothers wear. I cannot tell them apart, to be completely honest, and it kind of like Outdoor Voices. I like their stuff personally. If I were to find something that were to fit me, I'd be a little bit more apt to keep it, but like, I think they're just kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
And they used to be popular, I think, because they were like not sold everywhere. It was kind of hard to get.
I think a lot of celebrities wore it.
Because of one of the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
Same thing with Sweaty Betty. Like, it was this new kind of micro little athletic wear company, and now it's at TJ Maxx. So, like, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, something somewhere in their little sphere either filed for bankruptcy or left, or like something bad.
Maybe they split up or something.
I don't know.
This isn't all athletic, trust me, but you'll notice a trend of like so quickly.
Trendy athletic
brands come in and go like Buff Bunny. We don't even have that on the list, but like that doesn't do
Talk
well
about
anymore.
A fossil. Gymshark.
Yeah, Gymshark doesn't do that well anymore. Alphalete. Alphalete's kind of another one.
Fossil.
I'm sure there's still followers to all these, but they just like, that's kind
the
of what
that actually
happens.
work out.
And like, then you can almost at any time, you can list the ones that are in right now. So think like Vori. Think some aloe. There's always brands that are literally like athletic brands replace each other so freaking quickly. So next up, we're still kind of in the ones that you guys probably would expect, but it's Zara. So Zara never has, never will do well, at least for me. I continuously trick myself into thinking like, oh, I could pick up this super trendy piece.
Oh, this is
that
gonna be
has a cute blogger picture, and this will be the piece that does good. And it never happens.
And you're lied to every single time.
If you find something super trendy, super cute in the bins, and you really want to list it, pop off. But I'm putting my foot down, as you guys know, in 2025.
I'm not doing it.
And I am done for the like 99.99999% done listing any of it myself. It'll all be consigned. It'll all be given to my mother to sell. I'm done. Stop fooling yourself. Like, that might be me talking to myself, but stop lying to yourself.
The Tyra Banks, like, stop it meme. She's screaming. Me and myself every time I pick up Zara.
Yeah.
Never in my life have I yelled at a girl like this. Okay, next is another one of those trendy athletic wear brands. I think this one's an MLM. If I'm wrong. Oh,
it is.
They don't do good. I feel like there definitely was a point like 4 or 5 years ago where like the LuLaRoe, the Zaya, the Cabby stuff. Zaya does terrible.
Zaya has died.
She absolutely has. She has died off for me. And like, honestly, this stuff was never that good of quality to begin with.
It's just the normal.
But I think that's what you get. I didn't think it was ever anything crazy. I think, again, kind of like Outdoor Voices and Sweaty Betty and all these other ones were like, it was hard to get. And the influencer that was like, oh, look at my little outfit that I got from Jennifer's like garage. They wanted it because people couldn't get it. And now that they have it, they realize that it's probably not the best, and there's a new athletic brand that's come into fashion. And
this was a harder one for me because I kind of was a Zaya defender later than a lot of people.
You really were,
because
though.
I
was
was
really on the boat for
about like maybe 2023. I was having some really good luck with Zaya still, and like people had kind of already sworn it off. But over the end of 2023 and definitely throughout 2024, it's like those few people that still wanted it don't anymore. You know? They're done. They moved on.
They did what Rose did in the Titanic. tank and just
literally
push them off into the water.
There is like no customer base for resale of Zaya anymore. The best you could get is probably like $15 for literally anything. The jackets, the Sherpas, the leggings, the pants. None of it doesn't
end well.
None of it
doesn't end well.
No.
You know?
Next up is one that, again, I think we have possibly talked about before, but it definitely has not come back in any way, shape, or form. It is still not one to pick up, and that is Good American. So Good American is kind of, a lot of these are in the same boat where I feel like they were born between like 2015 and 2018.
When did Good American start? That's going to make me feel old.
I feel like that
like
time frame. They had that initial, just like big following, big excitement, big boom, and we just are now at the end of that, and the brand has kind of moved on, and there's not really anyone that wants it. They start to sell out in a way to all these places. Like you can find Good American at TJ Maxx, at Marshall's, at Nordstrom. Like it's basically a Nordstrom Rack brand at this point.
Yeah.
So there's just not the resale because of course with doing that, like the quality goes down. Anytime I find Good Americans, they are ripped.
So cheap.
They have spandex waves all over.
And they're not cheap jeans. Like they're still $150, $200 if you like buy them like new.
It's just, I think the quality caught up with it and they started to sell out and there is no, even cute trendy pairs. Like there is no customer base.
I'm about to take it to the consignment store, make my $10.
Yeah, consignment store, that's a good brand for the consignment store for sure.
Our next one is another good brand for the consignment store, and that is a Beta brand. I feel like Beta brand, unfortunately, was a victim of Janine 19. I feel like there's a definite, like, before we all got shut into our houses for 2 years, like, it did really well. It was this nice new little corporate brand, you know? It was catering to all these people that had an office job but didn't want to dress super stuffy. And then nobody had the office job anymore. And now she's dead.
Yes.
And it's just, like, I think style-wise, it never evolved. Like, the fact that I still see, like, the store at Mall of America and it's the same flare black pants that you were wearing in 2010. I don't think that's the vibe anymore. I think the corporate landscape has changed. I don't know. I'm not a corporate girly, but I think the landscape has changed and I think the outfits have changed.
Yeah. I think one thing that Beta brand always, like, did really well was, like, the inclusiveness of petite and tall.
Yeah. They had a lot of sizes.
And plus size. They did. So I think that kind of, like, really helped them out. Over time, I think we've all realized that actually, like, Beta brand retail prices aren't that high. A pair of like the classic boot or whatever from Beta brand is like $60.
See, that's not bad.
It's hard to then go ask someone to pay $35 or $40 for a pre-owned pair when you could probably just shop the Black Friday sale or like the Memorial Day sale and get them for the same price.
Exactly.
And also, yeah, I think it's just like a pair of black pants. At this point, it's not that revolutionary. Like, there's a lot of brands that make the like legging business pant. And as Ryan said, like, yeah, there's just not as much in-office work. Even the people that do it nowadays, it's not every day of the week sometimes. Or a lot of offices are a lot more lenient on like wearing jeans and stuff like that.
Put your jeans on, Sally.
So,
you know, like,
it just, I think it's...
She is stuck in her time.
What do they say? Yeah, what do they say? A victim of their time.
A relic, a victim of her time.
Yeah, a victim of her era.
Poor girl.
Next up, and we are on number 8. I know we're not like really counting as we go, but this is number 8. Barefoot Dreams. So we're starting to enter the ones that definitely used to have a strong resale market.
This used to be like you were in the money if you found a good Barefoot Dreams.
Go back to probably our first iteration of our favorite brands of all time, and Barefoot Dreams is on that list. Favorite brands of all time.
It's crazy.
Barefoot Dreams, deceased. Over. Pack it up. She's out the door.
I mean, if I'm at the bins and I found me a little lounge set, I'm not going to say no.
I don't hate it myself. And my mother loves it.
Debbie's a Barefoot
Your mom
Dreams
would probably love it too. Like, it's a great gift idea.
Yeah, it's good for the moms, you know?
But the resale value of Barefoot Dreams has just collapsed. I think Barefoot Dreams has also almost become a Nordstrom Rack brand. Also, Barefoot Dreams started to make a lot of pieces specifically for Nordstrom Rack and specifically for like Marshalls and stuff, and it like wasn't as soft.
It's not as good quality.
And I think it just started to like water itself down. Also, and I'm sure you all have seen it before if you source a lot, there's like a brand called like Warm and Cozy or something that is almost the exact same material. Kirkland has made stuff that's like the exact same material.
Everybody's knocked it off.
It's been knocked off so well at this point that you don't need to pay like $200 for a soft robe. Like,
no. So you can get them on Amazon for $30.
Yeah.
Like,
so everyone that wants, and also it's been around a long time. I think everyone that wants one has one. Because
that's it.
Kind of like Beta Brand, it hasn't changed a lot over time.
And how often do you get a new bathrobe?
Really? Yeah. I honestly, unless it's in insanely good condition, I don't even get Barefoot Dreams at the bins. Because a lot of times it's pretty washed and stuff, and so I'll skip it probably most of the time.
If it's Debbie's size, I'll get it to give to her. Like if it's Janet's, I'll be like, here.
But our turnstile marks it at $15.
So like
it's really her time has passed.
That's it, you know. She's a soft
do not resuscitate
fossil. Next, this one, I'm gonna miss her. And I still will absolutely pick this stuff up in the bins. Spanks. The shapewear is like the only exception to this. I will always still get the shapewear shorts. I will get the little unitards. I'm not paying more than $3 for any of it, but like any of the jeans, any of the dresses, any of the, I don't know if they made like shirts, not like shapewear tops.
It might be another thing where it's just like there's
just too much
so
shapewear.
many.
Did Skims kill Spanks?
I think it's once again just another thing of like just wear some leggings. Just buy any other brand. Like I just don't think that you need to pay the prices of Spanks, and especially like pre-owned and stuff. No. I would say I would still pick up the plus size stuff. Oh, and like say if there were some flared jeans or something, maybe that, but like any leggings, even the like fun specialty ones, especially under a size large, are an absolute no. I would just consign them.
No. Any of the skinny jeans.
The shorts I wouldn't do anymore. I wouldn't do any of the skinny jeans. No. Totally fallen off in resale. And that's another one that was definitely in our top 10 of all time. Probably a couple iterations of that.
Immediately.
So Spanks has had a huge fall from grace, which is crazy.
I miss her.
So number 10, we are almost halfway there. It is another pretty strongly athletic brand, but I feel like this brand maybe leans a little bit more into athleisure.
Yeah.
And that is Varley. Do not mix up
Not
Varley and Vory. They're
Varley.
Very different. They kind of make similar stuff, but very different in resale performance and popularity. Though, I could be totally wrong. I always think they came out or became popular around the same time.
I think they did.
But Vory just like stole the show because Varley fell behind.
She's where?
Varley is every once in a while sold, I believe, at Anthropologie.
And Evereve.
And honestly, like a lot of different places. And again, it's quite expensive new. It is really expensive.
It's pricey.
But it doesn't have like a customer base. It just doesn't perform well. I think maybe you could find Varley and have it listed for like a year and a half or 2 years, and you'd probably get some okay money at some point, but like it is hard.
Is it worth sitting on that pair of shorts for 2 years?
Hard to sell. So I would honestly just take the easier road, the easier path, and just consign it.
That's it.
It just doesn't have that following.
Again, like the moral of the story, trendy athletic brands do not survive.
Do not ever.
They get them at their peak and then take them to the consignment store after that. Okay, next is a shoe brand that I have never found personally before, and I kind of don't really feel
now it's too late.
I don't really feel like I'm missing out. Miss Birdies. They are very similar to like all these other kind of trendy flat shoe brands, and I think like obviously there are still people that like them, and I think there are kind of like any of those, you know, like shoe companies, there's always going to be like one or two that are really popular, but like generally, I think we've moved on.
Yeah.
I think we've moved on. I think there's other little flat shoe companies that people like more than them.
I believe Birdies came around as, one of the flat shoe trends, but also it was kind of like a comfort shoe. But also, it was part of the whole, like, what are the royals wearing situation. I believe Kate Middleton popularized them, I think, and if not, she definitely helped a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But
that
like,
was her pregnancy shoe.
Think
she wore
about
them all the time when she was pregnant.
Think about how long ago that was now.
Don't ask me how I know that.
Think about how long ago that was now. So that is just like, that's dated. I don't think there's like as huge and as strong of a group of people that are like strictly following her and her style. I think it still exists. I think there still are people that really like to kind of like wear these brands that the royals wear. But I just don't think it has that grasp on the normal person as it did back in like 2008. I think the pool of like influencers and celebrities and everything for you to choose your style from, if that's what you want to do, is so huge now that like it's not just the big politicians and royals. There's a trillion people that you can like take style notes from. And I just...
That's it.
I don't... Yeah. Anyways, that's Birdies. Next is another one that I would say over the past year took its like big nosedive.
Took a hit.
And I kind of had a feeling it was going to happen to this brand at some point because it's very similar to, say, Madewell. And that's Everlane. So we were kind of holding on to Everlane because her jeans were still doing good.
Yeah.
Her shoes were still doing pretty good.
Some of the bags.
Some of the like sweaters and stuff were still doing good. It's not as much anymore. It is not as much anymore. The jeans are really hard to sell now.
Yeah.
The shoes don't even go for as much as they used to now, though they're quite nice. They just don't go for as much. Most of the sweaters don't really sell anymore. Maybe a cashmere one could.
The nice knit.
But anything else doesn't really. And honestly, any Everlane piece I've had over 2024 has got no attention. It hasn't sold. When I have found it at the thrift store, consignment store, I'll look it up and the comps are bad.
Yeah,
She's
not
good. She's kind of over.
She's kind of a dead little duck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And I think it's the same issue as Madewell, where it's just like...
There's so many other
there's nothing
brands
wrong,
out there.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
It's just like when you kind of make basics, like there are a million options for basics.
And it is expensive.
It is.
It is expensive. So I think like if you're somebody my age who's looking for a basic, I'm not going to go spend $50 to get an Everlane t-shirt. I'm about to go to H&M and get one for $6.
I don't know about that, but...
You know. Okay, next is a brand that I know my sister on the other side of the screen is going to flip her computer and break her phone. Aritzia. The stuff just doesn't sell at all. And I think, again, it's one of those situations of like a couple years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of Aritzias. We had one at the Mall of America, so like we kind of knew about it before. I feel like the rest of the small towns kind of figured it out. And now you can order it online. They're all over the place. It's more common. Mm-hmm. And I think like it's just Aritzia. Like it's not as like prestigious as I think it once was, which therefore decreases its value. So now whenever I find it in a size 0, 2, off to the other one.
And Aritzia is another one like Everlane where like if you break it down, most of their stuff is very basic. Like it's very not like you're a basic girl if you wear it, but like it's just like a t-shirt, a polo, a sweater. It's nothing like standing out really.
No.
So I think people just like have other brands they can pick from for that. Now I don't really, Aritzia is a tough and a tricky and a kind of confusing one because I feel like Aritzia is still decently popular just like when I see it in the mall and it's like packed or just like knowing people that like actually buy it in person. And also it is like so expensive. Like you want to say Everlane's expensive, Aritzia is so expensive.
She's ritzy.
So I don't really understand how it doesn't have a resale like
I feel
market.
like that demographic just isn't like they're not on Poshmark. They are going to go to the thrift store. They're going to go to Depop. They're going to get it. But I just don't think that they're going to scour eBay for that one eBay skirt, for that one Aritzia skirt that they want.
Now, Aritzia has, like, obviously quite a few outliers that we would totally still pick up. The Super Puffs, some of the, like, faux leather shirts and jackets and stuff. Some of their, like, wool coats are really, really nice. But it's just kind of like you used to be able to sell anything and everything quickly and for a lot of money. But that is, like, not the case. I've had really cute pants lately that don't do good. All those faux leather pants from Wilfred and
the Melinda
Babaton,
pant, dead.
Yeah.
Deceased.
So
Gone.
it's much, much, much more picky. Next up is another one that really hurts because last year I kind of had like a rebirth and reawakening of this brand, but it was just a what do they call that? A
flash in the pan.
Flash in the pan. Athleta. So late 2023, maybe mid 2023 to early 2024, Athleta was like back. She was booming. She was popping off. Everybody wanted Athleta. And that's kind of been Athleta's vibe the whole time I've resold. When I first started reselling, like whatever, 8 years ago, 7, I don't know.
I don't want to know. Too many.
You kind of would grab any Athleta, no matter what label, and it would do good. Then for a long time it died out. And you really didn't want any of it at all.
Nope.
Then, just recently, Athleta came back, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'd almost pay up for some Athleta.
Right in the world.
So good, blah, blah, blah. And now she's back asleep.
She's like a bear.
So she'll be back, don't worry.
I give it 2 years. 18 months.
But Athleta now is only consigning for me. I will sell, again, kind of like bigger sizes of more of the lounge wear, but any of the tops, any of the jackets, most of the sweaters and stuff, any leggings, any like genuine athletic wear, consign. Absolutely consign. Athleta is not really the moment when it comes to the athletic scene.
Poor dear.
Poor gal.
Okay, next is this hurts. It really hurts, but like
Everybody deep breath.
They've gone to Target, they've gone to TJ Maxx, Levi's. I still love my Levi's. I will never probably like another brand of jeans other than my Levi jeans.
Silver Lakes.
My Levi, what's that Beyonce song? My Levi jeans.
I think she just says Levi jeans.
They just don't do that good anymore. They are so oversaturated. They are everywhere. And that's the problem. that's it. And moving on.
Absolutely just oversaturation. You can
sneeze and you find a good deal on Levi's.
You find a store that sells like retail new Levi's. Like literally think of any store that sells clothes and there's probably Levi's
immediately
there.
Immediately.
Kohl's, JCPenney's, Target, Von Maur, Dillard's, like Macy's,
boutiques,
everywhere, anywhere, Free People, Aritzia.
There's a ton of them. Everywhere, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And like Ryan said, Target sells them. And the thing is, Target used to sell them, but like the bad ones.
Denizens.
It'd be the Denizens, or it would just be like super skinny, ultra skinny.
They sell the good ones now.
They sell like the 1994 Dad Low Pro and stuff.
Yeah.
With the good cotton blend, which is great.
Good for Target.
Great, yeah.
But...
great for people that like want them. But for the resale, it moited it. She's out.
She moited it.
Which that one's painful because Levi's was also on our top 10s ever for
the amount of money that we spent sourcing Levi's.
In like 2019, 2020.
Like thousands.
The amount of money Levi's made me.
Thousands. It was so nice.
Now Levi's is like, I get it to consign.
I'll get it in the bins if it's like a cute
If it was
style.
super cute, like a 70s flare, I'll sell it myself. But you just can't expect as much either. Next up is another tough pill for me to swallow because I was kind of a defender until the very end.
You were.
The very end.
You were on the deathbed.
The very end is in the past now. We've passed the very end. And that is Rails. So Rails, as we all know, is a lovely, fantastic, like, flannel making company. Though they do make some sweatshirts and loungewear, and they do definitely make, like, sweaters and some jackets and stuff. Rails has had a following for a long time because their flannels are so soft and I will die on that hill. Their flannels are amazing. They're so soft. They're so nice. But Rails has been around for a long time now. She's an old gal.
She's hanging around.
She's an old gal. Soon you're going to find, like, a really old, like, 80s Rails, like, label. Rails has been around forever, and they've kind of been making the same thing forever. Kind of like Beta Brand and stuff, and Spanks. People that want them have them. If you want one, you can just buy an old one, and it's the same as the new ones, honestly. So you don't gotta go pay $170 for the flannel that you want. Also, Rails also seems to be kind of sold way too many places.
Oh, TJ Maxx,
every boutique ever has like the Rails like blazers. Like, so now if you find like a Rails blazer coat, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in the money.
You're not.
Probably not, because 20 different tiny boutiques clearance that out for $70. So
exactly.
It's over time just went down in value.
Next
hot take.
This hurts. Rothy's. They don't sell anymore. Like, I'm sorry if you're a Rothy's lady, but like, you enjoy them.
Well, that's great for the Rothy's ladies because they can get a steal of a deal.
The doors have opened on
your collection. You can finish that collection.
That's it. Collect shoes, girlfriend. I'm not gonna pay more than $10 per pair.
I'm not gonna pay $10.
I wouldn't at all. You know, bins, sure, but they're kind of over.
Honestly, if they were at the bins and they were even like slightly shrunk or a little too dirty, nope.
Immediately not.
Nope. In the past month, I donated a pair of Rothy's. I literally donated them. And a different pair I tried to consign and they declined them. That's the state of that's the current state of Rothy's.
She's dead.
The current state of the Rothy's nation is that the consignment store declined them and I donated them. I feel like
time to go, girl.
If you're gonna pay anything for them, they gotta be a funky, fun print. Yeah. No shrinkage at all and in really good shape.
Perfect.
Because
They don't do good otherwise. They really don't. And that's so sad.
That's a far
I
fall.
have also
Far fall.
never found a pair of Rothy's
And again, I think
in the thrift store. And at this point, I'm kind of like, what about it?
There's better things to find now.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Very same vein. Very, very similar situation. Like, to a T, almost. To a T. Teaks. Teaks have also fallen.
Ms. Lori Tater, the tea collector, I can feel her
so
punching me through the
far
screen.
from grace. And I think the final test to see if Teaks could, like, be resuscitated was how ballet flats were so popular.
Not
in
that ballet
2024. Not Teaks, Miss Ma'am. The Teaks did not jump on that train.
She didn't at all.
For some reason, that didn't revive Teaks at all.
Which is wild. I was kind of shocked by that.
I think you could find more outliers in Teaks than Rothy's.
Oh,
like, I
immediately.
think Teaks are a safer bet than Rothy's because Teaks are made of leather.
They are still, I think, a lot more collectible than Rothy's.
There are some that are more rare. Like, they're definitely Teaks that are worth good money. We're saying, like, the day-to-day, like, you find a pair of just, like, the burgundy red leather ones at the bins. Like, you gotta list those for, like, $45 now. Maybe $40.
Yeah.
It's just the common ones have almost lost most value. Whereas, like, the common ones, like the more common, you used to be able to list for 100 plus, and overnight those things are evaporated. Gone.
I think that mentality is also very non-existent anymore. I think if you had one, you had one. I don't think there's anybody who's like, I've just discovered this shoe brand with a teal sole that I can put in a box.
One, of course, like,
you know,
with Rothy's or Teaks, every brand makes something that looks like them. Go to TJ Maxx and the amount of Rothy's lookalikes from like Mia and
from
like
all those
7-7 or whatever
Chinese
it's
companies
called.
that nobody knows how to pronounce.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
So many. Okay, next, looping again, because this roller coaster is never ending.
It
and
keeps sucking us back
nauseating.
in.
Another trendy athletic wear company that like was really popular a couple years ago and now has started to waka.
This is maybe a
taper
more
herself off.
fresh wound.
Little Miss Girlfriend Collective. She just doesn't do that good anymore. It's like Outdoor Voices. It's nice stuff. It's cute. I think there's just so much of it. Nobody's going to go to Poshmark because they can go to your local Plato's Closet and there's half of everything that they've ever made sitting on that rack. Like, it just doesn't do very good. And I don't think
it's just leggings. It's just sweatshirts. It's just shirts. Like,
I don't think they were that expensive, new.
Yeah,
like
well, not
$100 for a pair of
yeah.
leggings, like $30, $40 for a sports bra, which like obviously that's disgustingly expensive for a pair of polyester plastic pants. But in terms of like the grand umbrella of trendy athletic wear, not that bad. So I think it's easy for people to just like go buy the new one.
There's just something with athletic wear that just for a 6-month period, everybody wants that little whatever fill in the blank logo right on their like lower
Over
back.
their little patootie, and now they don't.
And then they don't. Because like none of these ever like have something groundbreaking. They're all made of the same stuff, and none of them are like insanely expensive. All of these brands probably, the leggings retailed for $98. So it's expensive, but it's not like luxury. And so I think like this Christmas, the girlies want this legging. This Christmas, the girlies want that legging. This Christmas, they want this brand. Like,
and where does that other stuff go?
Athletic, for some reason, just has this rapid like rotation.
Something always changes.
I know.
You know, somebody always thinks they're going to come reinvent the wheel and they make the exact same pair of purple polyester leggings.
So our final two, buckle yourselves in. This is 20 and 21.
Oh,
Number 20
Lord.
is kind of on the vein of what we've been talking about this whole time, but the lifeline of this brand was much longer.
She's over.
Lululemon.
Womp womp.
It's
just so common. It is so common now.
So
it is
oversaturated.
everywhere.
Any consignment store you go to has 1.5 trillion pieces of it. Even Lulu, there's nothing groundbreaking. I think in the past they did break some ground when like we were lining up our back seam with your cheeks, and like some of the piece like the Swiftly tees, they've kept themselves alive for a lot longer because they've had those pieces that have like when I feel like one of the more recent was kind of that little golf skirt.
Oh yeah, or like that bag that everybody and their mother has like 70 million of.
But I think we have just watered down more and more over time with the Lulu. And there used to be more outliers. Like, I don't want to get Lulu as much, but I'll get the Aligns, I'll get the Swiftly tees, I'll get the skirt, the micro pleat skirt. But over time, there's less and less. And like, I couldn't name you almost any that I would be like, oh, but I'll still get this.
No, and
I don't know. I don't really think
people
there
still
is much.
like it, but
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely still like a base, but
there's just so much of it.
the
on
value
internet.
is way down. The rapidness of selling it is way slower. Like it doesn't do as good as it used to. You might as well consign it because they still market well, but getting it to resell, you probably shouldn't really pay up much at all. And
like, Google it just to be safe. Like, there's still some pieces that you can definitely make some good money
I'm sure
on.
like wide pants,
But like that is
coats,
not nearly as
common
as it used to be, which is really sad. Okay, our next brand. This one also
the final one
stinks, especially for like living in Minnesota. I see this all the time, and I pass on 99.9% of it, and that is a Patagonia. The better sweaters don't do good because there's a million of them everywhere. Any of the athletic stuff never did good to begin with. Any of the like graphic t-shirts, they are at TJ Maxx for $8.
Mm-hmm.
The
hats
just
do okay.
doesn't do good anymore. It just doesn't do good anymore because it's everywhere. It is everywhere, and I don't really think that it holds the same significance that it did a couple years ago.
I think the outdoor athletic-y kind of brands also have like a rotation period. I feel like it's slower than like the athletic, but like it definitely is. Like Arc'teryx is obviously super popular now, and nothing's coming to me, but I'm sure there's like a few more that are like really popular right now. So I think Patagonia just is like a little dated. It's been around forever, and I just like even those rare print kind of chinchillas and stuff. They can still sell, but it isn't like it used to be.
When's the last time you've seen somebody in a chinchilla?
Yeah, I mean,
I have not seen one like out in the public for like years.
It doesn't have the power it used to. It's like Lulu. Like both of those, of course, have like outliers, but like they just don't have. They don't got it anymore.
She don't got it no more.
Yeah.
So
those are our hot takes, and those are our brands that we are basically done picking up, or for the most part, or we're only strictly consigning. Let us know how you feel right now. How are you? Are you okay right now? How do you feel about what we just said? Also, let us know, do you agree with these? Do you not? Are there ones that we missed that you think are kind of like a hot take that you don't pick up anymore? Let us know below. And otherwise, that's all that we got for you today. So we will see you on Thursday for probably a bins haul from me. Otherwise, on Sunday for What Sold Sunday.
Goodbye.
Bye.